All right, welcome back to KM6 LYW Radio, the show about amateur radio or ham radio, reimagining radio in the information age. Today's another great example. We have a new release of the DigiPi 1.9.3. It's an SD card image. You put it in a Raspberry Pi, you hook it up to your radio, and it gives you access to every data mode there is, all the data modes we talk about on this channel. Kind of turns your radio into a website. All you need is a browser or a phone or a tablet or something, and you can operate all the data modes there are. Let's talk about it this time on KM6 LYW Radio. Yeah. There it is. Welcome back. Yeah, still doing the free bumper music. All right, let's play with a new release of DigiPi. We're going to put the SD card image in the Pi, hook it up to a Baofeng here. We've got all kinds of new features. We're going to go over the features and maybe hit some of the highlights in a couple of modes here. Maybe even make a contact. All right, here we go. I'm trying to do this on a Mac, you guys. So if it seems like I don't know what I'm doing, it's because I don't. So ham radio tube, I need your help, man. I need Mac help. All right, so DigiPi. It all starts at digipi.org. This is an SD card image that you can download for the Raspberry Pi, and it goes to patrons of the channel. It's really kind of my way to give something tangible back to patrons of the channel, and your support has been overwhelming. There's a huge community around this. It's all open source software. We got it all out on GitHub, but the actual SD card image itself is at digipi.org. So once you download that SD card image, you burn it to an SD card. I don't have one handy here. And then you put it in a Raspberry Pi like this one. This is a Raspberry Pi 02 wireless. This device here is $15, and this is really all you need. You can get the optional screen here for $12, and digipi.org has like a shopping list and all of the stuff that you're going to want to buy, links to everything. So it's really, your outlay here is about $30 for the Raspberry Pi. And then if you're going to use an HT, you'll need a radio interface adapter. There's a bunch of options there, but today we're going to demonstrate the AIOC, the all-in-one cable. This is a pretty cool device, and it has a couple of prongs on it, so you can hook it up to a Baofeng radio, which is what you see there, or a Kenwood. Any of those two-prong radios this will work with. So this radio here, if you're not already familiar with it, welcome to ham radio, is a Baofeng, and this is like a $25, maybe $30 amateur radio, okay, and it's on an APRS packet frequency right now. And we've got the AIOC all-in-one cable plugged into that, and then we've got the antennas actually going up to the roof to a big old Diamond X200. So you could use the HT antenna right here, but be careful getting RF into your Raspberry Pi. You notice I've got some huge ferrite beads there to keep RF out of the Raspberry Pi, and vice versa. You don't want a bunch of noise coming into your radio from your Raspberry Pi computer. One of the first things you might notice is my video arcade cabinet is running DigiPi. Well, not really. So HDMI is a new feature. So if you have an HDMI monitor that'll do 720p or better, you can actually display the DigiPi output. It's not exactly real time, like the receive transmit lights don't blink perfectly, but at least you get the gist of what's going on. And of course you can see everything that's going on a little optional screen there. Of course this will run on a big Raspberry Pi too. I don't have one here. They're about this size and there's a big screen for that if you want to go that route. So HDMI is a new feature for DigiPi 1.9. Now if we go out here, I've got a change log. Some of the highlights here are going to be we fixed Wi-Fi hotspot mode for the newer Pis. That wasn't working at all. You guys got to let me know when this doesn't work, okay? All your patrons, you have access to my email address. So yeah, the Wi-Fi hotspot was really dodgy. That's totally fixed, rock solid now. So for your summits on the air, POTA stuff, DigiPi becomes a hotspot, and all you need is your phone or a tablet, and you can do POTA and summits operations. Kind of cool. We've got a much more professional HTML interface. It works a lot better on your phone now. The Initialize page is kind of cool. It shows you what stuff's already connected, so you don't have to guess at the device files anymore when you're setting up your DigiPi. We've got a GPS display. You can set up all your audio levels, get everything dialed in just how you like it. Because if we're using an HT, you kind of have to guess at the volume. So we can do that all with the web interface. So this isn't like another half-baked Raspberry Pi project. The goal of DigiPi is to make everything web-based. You shouldn't need to know Linux or a command line or any of that to operate data modes on your Raspberry Pi. So these are just the highlights. I'm not expecting you to read those. So I've got DigiPi over here. I turned it on. This is the administrative interface for DigiPi. These are all the services we've got. We've got all the APRS stuff you can handle, including a web chat interface. So you don't have to like type out APRS messages on your HT. You know, you can actually use your phone or anything that has a web browser on Wi-Fi. We've got AX.25 networking. I fixed up some of the connected mode parts of NetROM or Node, so you can actually be part of a NetROM network using AX.25 Node mode. The Winlink email server, if you want to be a sysop for Winlink, we've got that built in here, no problem. And a PAT Winlink email client, that's your inbox, your outbox. It works just like, you know, I don't know, I hate to say Outlook. I don't know, what do people use for email these days? We've got an RDOT modem, and this is for doing Winlink over HF. I can connect to Winlink servers anywhere in the world, right? It's pretty cool. And then, of course, the big apps like WSJTX, FT8, Slow Scan TV, FLDigi, and JS8 Call. All of these apps actually, they run on the DigiPi, but they display in your browser. So you'll notice there's no monitor or keyboard hooked up to DigiPi. You don't need one because everyone has a monitor and keyboard already in their pocket. Okay, so we're going to use your phone or tablet to operate DigiPi. So just hit a couple. Let's just do a quick demonstration here, and then we'll just go into a couple of the new features. Web chat has been updated. I just click on next to web chat here, and then I go down to the web chat launch link, and you can see web chat firing up here. It'll take a second. All right, so this is me messing around. So it's just kind of like the iOS interface, right? That's what we tried to do. And WB4BOR really helped us with this. So we can send a message to a station called WXBot. There's a bunch of them out there. You can set our digipath. In fact, we could use ARISS if we wanted to do space station operations. And I can just say something like my zip code 95614, and I can do send. And you'll notice the Baofeng and DigiPi are transmitting. So we sent those packets out, and we got a little thumbs up indicating WXBot got our message. And then we got a reply that says, I am 5 miles east of Auburn, California. Today is sunny with a high of 67. That's not bad for March 1st. So, hey, we just did our first operation using nothing more than this equipment over here, our Baofeng and our DigiPi, and the new AIOC cable. Isn't that cool? All right, so that's web chat. So all of our APRS operations, that's a great demonstration of that. I'm not going to go into all of these, so maybe we could just talk about email real quick. We can go start like the PAT Winlink email client, just to give you an idea how this works. And you notice when I start one thing, if there's exclusives, mutually exclusive services, those will stop, and then PAT will start, that kind of thing. So if you wanted to look at PAT, we can click on PAT down here, and here's our inbox or outbox, and we do action connect, and then we pick a node that we want. We can do packet here somewhere. Packet, actually it's AX.25 in it, and we do a show RMS list, and it shows all of the nodes that are near me. And so this is all for packet radio email. So email on your radio. I know what you're saying, Craig. I can do email on the internet, but if the internet goes down, and it does, and the power goes out, this will become a hotspot, and you can connect to it directly and do all of these operations with just your phone, just the DigiPi, and in this case, just the Baofeng radio, and still have access to email despite having no other local services. So that's pretty cool. Here in California, that's not unusual to have no power and internet, right? It can be tricky. Hey, you can see this is DigiPi 1.9-3 down here in the bottom, so you know which version you've got going. Some new conveniences that I put on here is like the audio link here. We can click on this, and we can actually set the audio levels for the Baofeng input, output. Make sure you look at the capture levels, so you're not overloading. Look at your packet log to see your volumes there. So that's audio, no problem. I'm still learning Mac OS. That was kind of weird. It's prompting me for weird stuff. So another thing we've got is the, I don't know if I showed you guys this, but you can actually see the screen here. You notice the screen's playing in HDMI. It's displaying on a little display, but you can also display that little screen in your web browser. It's kind of fun if you don't have $12 for a screen. All right, I get it. What else have we got? We got system information, which is kind of cool. So it shows you what radio and audio interfaces you have connected. So in this case, we see the AIOC all-in-one cable. That is this little red device here. Again, go out to digipi.org to find the shopping list for that. And of course, we can see the audio devices also an AIOC device, which just basically gives your radio, your dual bander USB port. Just makes it super easy. And of course, we got all our system information. One interesting thing down here is the system clock, so you know your system got time. To get time, like when you're on the summit, you just plug in a GPS and it'll get time from the satellite. So that way you can use time-based protocols like FT8, JS8 call. So system information, that's kind of new. And if you do have that GPS, like I said, you can click on the GPS link here and it'll show you all your GPS information. I don't have a GPS plugged in here, but one of the cool things it will show you is your grid square. So if you need to know your grid square, it's right there. And plus it'll show you time and your location, all the GPS stuff you would expect. So GPS is a new feature. I think those are the links that I added recently. One thing you do when you first get your DigiPi is initialize it. I modified this screen a little bit for you guys. This is where you enter your call sign and your Winlink password and your APRS password and your grid square device files. So one thing this screen will do is tell you what device files are actually present. So in this case, we're seeing TTY ACM0, and that is my AIOC all-in-one cable. So when we go to select our radio adapter, we just go down to, where is it here? The AIOC CM108. And when we click initialize, then DigiPi will use that cable. Now we can use a lot of different radio adapters out there. We've got a DigiPi hat that's out there. DRA, Masters Communications, has a DRA, I don't know, it's here somewhere. DRA Pi Zero hat, and we can use that. So just select what radio interface you have. If you have like an ICOM 705 or something that has a USB port already, those are the more expensive rigs. Just click USB connected radio and enter your rig number and your device file. And again, your device file is listed right down here, so you don't even need to guess that anymore. So that's the initialize page. Click initialize, and then DigiPi is yours. I don't know if I can do like an FT8 demonstration, so I can click on WSJTX FT8 here. I don't know. Do you guys do FT8 on VHF? I mean, is that even possible? I don't know. I click on WSJTX down here, and we will see WSJTX firing up on DigiPi. Of course, it's all zoomed in for you guys. I got this zoomed in, so it looks good on YouTube. So there's WSJTX. Of course, if we were plugged into an ICOM 705, this wouldn't, this would fire up. We'd start making contacts. But I don't know. Maybe we could do FT8 on VHF. I've honestly never tried it. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it up and see if someone wants to make a contact. Yeah, it's trying to talk to an ICOM 705 here. FT8 in your web browser running on a DigiPi. So I think that covers it, you guys. This is DigiPi 1.9-3. Go out to digipi.org. Goes to patrons of the channel. Anything helps here. It helps with all development. It helps with all the broken radios and every single Raspberry Pi. So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The takeaway here is digipi.org. That's the URL you want. This is all the cool stuff you need. The shopping list. If you've got a USB-based radio, you don't need like the AIOC adapter. You just need a USB cable. That's it. All the instructions on how to initialize this, get it going. Additional information. Maybe you want to hook up LED lights. It supports red, blue, yellow. It'll tell you when Bluetooth is connected. In fact, this works with APRS, Droid, and WODE, and all of the Bluetooth TNC apps that you have on your phone. This tells you how to pair those USB devices. And we got some cool screenshots. And you guys are sending me pictures of your builds, which is totally cool. I love to see pictures of your DigiPis, but make sure they're turned on and like doing something. I mean, it's cool to see a bunch of hardware, but I want to see what your radio's up to. I want to see the call signs and what's going on. So these are just some cool pictures. In fact, this is the Masters Communications DRA board. It has those LEDs that we were just talking about. So you can get a cool light show going on in your shack. APRS tracker, and again, all of these apps run as if they're like phones. Like here's JS8 call running on a phone, right? And you can use your phone's keyboard and screen. So totally do JS8 call in your easy chair in the other room. Your XYL thinks you're getting some good quality time there and in the living room in front of the TV, but you're actually operating JS8 call on your phone. She doesn't know, and I won't tell. So DigiPi, this is digipi.org. That's your takeaway here. And over here on the left are the patrons. Thank you so much, guys. It's really overwhelming. I'm using a Mac here, so I just don't have like any scrolling software. What I want is like the Star Wars, like the beginning of Star Wars, and have all of the patrons, kind of fading into space, and I don't know, have some some Imperial theme music going on. In fact, this isn't even all the patrons. I haven't updated this recently, so if you're a new patron, I really apologize in advance. But I'm on a Mac here, so I am trying, you guys. I am really trying to embrace the paradigm. I'm a Linux user, right? And I don't know, Windows is a non-starter for me, so I'm trying to go out of my my shell here. But hey, I got to admit, the OBS and the video recording stuff, this is working really well. So Open Broadcast Studio, and I've got a little mixer here, so it's kind of fun operating on a Mac. It's just being outside of my my usual stuff. I am still scrolling through patrons, you guys. I just can't believe it. This is just fantastic. So guys, thank you so much. Patreon.com at KM6LYW, and I don't know why this doesn't scroll any faster than this. Get you up there. Anything helps, and it gets you access to the DigiPi. And I will see you online talking to you keyboard to keyboard in any and every mode using DigiPi. Hey, my name is Craig. I'm in California. Amateur radio call sign KM6LYW, and I'm clear.